let's bring Maureen Haggas into the show, because the Haggas team are now absolutely flying, and with all the good horses as well. Tyberflow and Al-Azi yesterday at Newbury. Lots of goodies to come during this week at York. But most pertinently, Economics coming back with a bang in the Prix Guillaume d'Ornano that took place at Deauville on Thursday. And Maureen Haggas is with us now. Maureen, good morning.
Morning. Morning.
Thanks so much for joining us, and I know you're extremely busy, even more so than usual this morning, so appreciate you taking the time out. But let's talk economics first of all, and let's talk to me from a horse person's point of view of getting this horse from the Dante to the Guillaume d'Ornano and what went on in between and getting him back to exactly where you wanted him.
Well, we sort of took the view after the Dante. Although he was very impressive, he still looked like a great big baby and ran about all over the place, and that really, you know, putting a gun to his head and going to the Derby and all those races at that point was not the right thing. And thankfully his owner is very patient and could see that he hopefully had a nice horse, but you know, a horse that would get nicer with time. So he just, between York and Deauville, he kept training, but we backed off him a bit, obviously, and then we, you know, got him going again, and he had a race course gallop before France, and Ricky, who rides him every day, is the same guy who used to ride Baid. You know, he was happy with him and thought he'd done really well for the sort of quieter time. He felt stronger, and so, look, you know, it was a hard thing to do, but for the horse, I think it was the right thing to do.
Tell me a little bit more about Ricky. I'm presuming it's no coincidence that he was the guy that rode Baid and he's the guy that rides Economics. What does somebody like him bring?
Well, it's actually just coincidence.
Oh, it is coincidence. Well, it's a very happy coincidence for him, isn't it?
But, you know, he's a lovely rider and he's quiet. He's patient. And he obviously, you know, knows what he's sitting on, which is helpful. But no, it was just coincidence, really. I mean, you know, William said the other day, you know, obviously our 2-year-old's been very slow to come, and he said, well, God, I don't know, are there any good ones in there? And I said, well, you didn't know you had Economics this time last year, and we didn't, you know. These horses that need time can just flop about the two, and you don't know that they're any good. They look nice, but they, you know, they're just not strong enough to do anything or show you anything. And that was the same with this horse. You know, he ran nicely at the end of last year and sort of did surprise us slightly, because he you know, he was always very backward. But then he got it together in the spring of this year and was working well before he went to Newbury. But so, you know, he's been with us for, I don't know how long. He was with Luca. He came to us after Luca retired, and he's just his half brother works for us as well. Jason's been with us for years, and he's a brilliant rider also. And you know, people like that are an integral part of the team.
When you watch this horse race, Maureen, and I mean, it's easy enough for us to sit here and watch and see him finish off a race like that very strongly. Talking to Tom about it earlier in the week, and easy for us to say, well, he'll be better over a mile and a half. Is that the way you feel, or not?
Probably. I mean, I just thought the ground was a bit too quick for him in France, actually.
Really?
I didn't think he moved as well as I've seen him. But he still, you know, he gets his head in such a good place. I mean, he just, you know, he looks, when he gets going, he looks majestic. But I think, you know, it was pretty quick, that ground, by the looks of it the other day. You know, the French were giving it as good, and they never give it good. They always say it's good to soft, and if it's good soft, it can be anything from good to bottomless. But when they give it good, you sort of think, ooh, you know, it must be a bit tight. And 2 days before, it actually looked quite nice ground, but it looked pretty quick on Thursday.
Okay, so there might be more to come in terms of not only, you know, race sharpness, I'm sure, but in terms of race conditions. Do you think Leopardstown is a good next stop for him?
Yeah, yes, I do. I think obviously, we'll have to see how he is between now and then. But he's come out of this race really well, and but I think it's obviously a discussion for William and Jake and Shaquita to have, where, whether it's one more race, two more races, whether we stick at a mile and a quarter or whether we go up to a mile and a half. But, he's obviously, he's still only won a Group 2. He's got to take that final step up to Group 1, but the signs are sort of fairly hopeful.
I know you and William have quite defined roles, which is why the partnership works very well. In terms of race planning, do you stay out or have you got a foot in here?
No, it's not really my department. It's William. He's very good at that. And I mean, look, I interfere if it's horses I ride, but generally no. I mean, look, strong opinion about something I'll say, but he is very good at that, and he knows exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
And he knows all the races, and he doesn't need any help from me.
The current strike rate suggests that the system is working really pretty well, and the overall health of the horses is better than it's been all season. Is that the way you see it on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a hard year in that the horses were wrong in the spring, and we've struggled to get much consistency. We've had sort of, good patches, and then we've sort of gone sleep again, and then more good patches, and look, it's going better, but we've got quite a lot of either not very good or badly handicapped horses, who they're always the ones that the ones that recently, the ones that we like are running well, and Marcoon was a bit silly yesterday, pulled too hard, but mostly they're running as you'd expect them to run, which is, what you're wanting, really.
And I spoke with William earlier in the week about some of the horses that you were going to run at York, and he said, in some of the bigger races, the Yorkshire Oaks and the Juddmonte International, horses like Maljoom are, on paper, maybe a little overmatched, but on the other hand, they are coming into the form that you need them to be in. When you're riding them, you're looking at them, you're seeing them day in, day out, who's really blooming going into this week?
I mean, Maljoom looked great. I followed him up the hill this morning, and he is. I mean, he's always been a beautiful horse, but he's been very delicate to train. And hopefully now, with a bit of time and age, he's more mature and everything's settling down, and hopefully he'll withstand training better than he has done previously. But he looks great. Space Legend looks great. He's still a big baby, but he will, he's going to be a lovely horse one day. And actually, Sea Theme, she won a Group 3 in France the other day, and she's going to the Yorkshire Oaks, which there again could be a, punching a little bit above her weight, but she looks in really good shape, probably the best she's been in all year.
Maureen, appreciate your time this morning. Good luck this week. Thanks so much.
Thank you.